Alrighty, just a quick video on 9/6/2021. Just want to talk about one of the topics that I posted on. Is why is inventory a two-edged sword? And we're going to kind of break it into two different parts, right? I mentioned in a previous video that when you manufacture, you buy inventory, you do whatever it may be, you have your costs tied up inside of it. You can't get it out. Like, you have to buy inventory if you're a distributor. If you're a manufacturer, you pay for the labor, the raw material, all the components to go inside of it. So your inventory cost, whatever you have in inventory, is your cash tied up inside of it. You can't get it out. There's just no way until you actually sell the product, you can't get cash out, which is a problem for us, right? So how do we do that, right? Well, we naturally, we sell it, right? So as we sell it, we have a wide variety of stores. We sell to the Walmarts, the Publix, the Best Buys, the Kroger. Any of these people, we sell the product to. But if we look at inventory, we have a problem. We have this duality, right? If I have too much inventory, then people won't value it. Let's pretend that they think it's going to be a big seller. They buy the best. Walmart buys a whole bunch of it, and we're pretty excited because we made our profit over here. But if Walmart can't sell it, what's going to happen is that Walmart is going to effectively come back to us and say, "Look, sorry, I can't sell the product. Either A, I'm going to return it to you, and we expect a full refund." And Walmart can do that because Walmart is massive and can do anything they pretty much want to. But that's part of dealing with Walmart. Or they can say, "Look, I want to run a promotion. I want a price protection. I want something of that nature. So I want to run a promotion. I want to take $20 off your product." And ultimately the answer, since it's Walmart and larger distributors of that nature, the answer is sure. But what happens? If they run a promotion, whatever that promotion is, comes out of our bucket of profit. So whatever we thought we were making, right? We figured our costs, we figured fixed costs, we figured our profitability, we figured all these components, and we're ecstatic. But now if they want to run a promotion, they're going to, my profitability continues to fall because they run a promotion, which kind of stinks. But it's the way of life. But we have too much inventory, people don't value it. There's even the chance at some point in time it's just too much, and we're even having to pass it off to Big Lots or similar type stores. Big Lots usually pays about 40% of what the normal sales price would be. So you're basically breaking even or losing some degree of profitability by selling to Big Lots. But of course, the problem with Big Lots is that when people see your product there, they value it even less, right? They say, "Oh my gosh, this is supposed to be a premium brand. Why is it at Big Lots?" And yes, you could sell it there, but you have to be mindful of the marketing, the visual, the optics of actually having product in a Big Lots or a discount store like that. Not saying they're bad or anything, but just saying, this is one of the challenges, one of the questions that you deal with. Now, on the flip side of the equation, what is, where you have so much demand and so much supply. My kid wants an Xbox X, and I've looked for a year. I've not been able to find one unless I want to pay double the price, in which I don't want to pay double the price. So what happens, right? When demand is here, supply is here, they're able to go through, and as soon as they hit the website, they sell. Easy peasy, right? You naturally would assume that would be like the greatest thing ever, right? But the problem is they're not getting enough scale to be able to cover their normal fixed and operating cost. Right now, with COVID, we've had supply chain constraints, and these are significant supply constraints. In the old days, we would be able to have I could ship a container of product from China into the United States. It costs about $4,000, for a 40-foot sea container. 6 months ago, it would cost about $12,000 when we tried to do that previously. And when I checked about 2 weeks ago, it's up to $20,000. So keep in mind, right? You built your standard cost. You factored in a freight component, right? So we figured in a $4,000 freight component. So if we try to bring that product in, it's now $12,000. It's now $20,000. So our cost has now increased. So what do we have to naturally do? We have to increase our sales price, right? Because we're in this exercise to make a profit, and that's the whole point. We're a profit-seeking entity. We have that profit-seeking motivation. So we have to increase our sales price in order to be able to help offset incremental freight, right? I mean, and it's a problem. Same thing for labor. We're having to pay more for people to work. It's the way things are at this point in time. Now, hopefully, and give it a year, hopefully things will get back to normal and prices will come back down. But for the short term, it's what it is, right? And that's okay. It's part of life. But what we do is that we look at our cost, right? I mean, everything that we do is really driven by our cost. So we go through, we make inventory, it ties up our cash. I can't get the cash out until I sell it. If I sell it, hey, that's the greatest thing ever, but maybe it doesn't sell. Maybe I have to go to big lots. It's a problem, right? Just because I explained before, maybe I can't even sell it to big lots. Maybe it's something I have to destroy and I have to take 100% loss at that point in time. There's no point in donating it to a charity or anything of that nature. There's no tax benefit. And the worst thing is that there's a chance that in case somebody got hurt, they could return back and sue us or, request another warranty replacement. It's a mess that we don't usually ever deal with because there's more risk than there is return on that. But in order to, and we've talked about, hey, and on the flip side of it, if I have too much inventory, then things are definitely a problem, right? If I have too much, people don't value it. I have to pay promotion, which eats away at my margin, and maybe Walmart returns it all. Now, keep in mind, there are full departments and groups inside of companies which deal with this, demand planning, supply planning, and it's their sole job to try to do the best job, and they need to figure out what the right number is that we need to produce and how we sell them, who are we going to sell them to. It's an imperfect science. There are hundreds and hundreds of people and hundreds of departments. I mean, it's a large that we deal with. And it's okay, right? I mean, it's wrong, that we're always going to be wrong. I've invested in hundreds of thousands of dollars in SAP software that's supposed to, predict, what future forecast will, right? Future demand. Doesn't work. Maybe 80%, maybe 70%, but it's still, it's a number, right? It works. We're always going to be wrong, right? Anytime we make a forecast, we'll always be wrong. But that's not a bad thing, right? It's just a part of life that we have to learn and we have to accept, especially as we get in business. We're never going to be perfect for it. So we have supply planning, demand planning. We have these groups which focus solely upon that. We have software, SAP, S&OP Plus. I mean, you name it. Buying the software to give us that, but we're still wrong. But it's okay. Inventory is great because, well, we have to sell it. Because if we don't sell it, we're going to go through and, well, what's our problem, right? We're not going to be able to pay people. We're not going to be able to, recoup our cash from that. We're not going to generate a profit. So, we have to make inventory. We do our best to make the right amount, knowing we'll always be wrong. Now, a curious question is going to be, why do we offer payment terms? Now, you've heard, various companies, 210 net 30 or, just net 30. Why do we offer terms? Curious question, right? And the reason we offer terms is that most companies, unless they're the Walmarts of the world, they would not have enough cash to be able to simply plop down and say, hey, here, I'm buying this thing in full. So we offer people terms like 30 days to be able to pay off. They buy something. The theory is they buy something. They're able to turn it and sell it in 30 days. So they pay us back, and then they keep the profit. So, their cash flow is always going to be positive. Same thing with the larger companies, Walmart, Publix, so forth. They want to spread out their payment terms, right? I mean, who are you going to fight with Walmart with? Nobody, right? Same thing with Anheuser-Busch. Anheuser-Busch has 120-day payment terms. What that means is that you send the product, and 120 days later, which is 4 months, they'll pay you. And the answer is going to be, if you want to work with Anheuser-Busch, it's your terms and you accept it and you smile and say, okay. And And that's great, right? Because what they're able to do, they stretch their cash flow, right? They keep their cash, they can pay their employees, they can go continue to, expand their business, and it's positive cash flow, right? And they're able to invest that in short-term securities. Great for them. Small business people, not so much. But it's still not a horrific thing. It's just learning to do. It's part of business, and that's the one of the reasons that I actually enjoy teaching, is that I've had 23 years in dealing with companies. So I've seen actually everything that happens and how it actually impacts the P&L, the balance sheet, and everything else. So it just it makes it fun rolling in practical application into a theoretical course. All right. Well, that's going to be it for today. If you need anything else, I'll put another video out shortly enough. I will start putting some small exercises just for a test run. And of course, as you need anything along the way, I've given you my email address and cell phone number. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.